mentioned Michael Hunter's name there. Have you kept your eye on him since everything happened? I mean, I know he scored a draw last time out. Did you keep an eye on that, or is he in the rearview mirror now?
Yeah, I saw his fight, and everyone saw he should lose that one against Jerry Forrest. He was lucky to get a draw, and now after that you can see that he was avoiding me. He didn't want to fight with me, and now you see the reason. If he fought with me, I would knock him out, and it was not some smart business move, like he said. Why he pulled out of the fight? It was just that he is not on my level.
Those are the words of Filip Hrgovic as he discusses Michael Hunter's last performance, which everyone that saw that fight, it was very mediocre. It was a struggling, challenging performance by Michael Hunter. Okay, Jerry Forrest did come in, and he did, I think, do enough to win. It was a draw, so a lot of people, you can't really get mad at a draw because it's not a win or a loss. And I think if you're going to do something in favor of the house fighter, which Michael Hunter was, you would do it that way. Okay, you wouldn't just give someone a win. So I think when you're talking about boxing, the sport that I love, that I hate so much, the reason why I hate it is because they do give these W's to fighters that didn't deserve it. Well, in this case, you can't be too mad at Michael Hunter because he didn't get the win. He didn't get the W. Neither did Jerry Forrest, but that's okay because a draw is that's exactly what it is. It's straight up and down. Now, what he said also, if it had to have been that type, if it would have been him, he would have stopped Michael Hunter. Well, the what if game, if we want to speculate on that, if Michael Hunter would have prepared himself like he did against Jerry Forrest, if he would have done that, yes, I do agree with Filip. Filip Hrgovic would have heard him, that's apparent. But that's if he would have prepared like he prepared. So if he prepared for Filip Hrgovic like he prepared for a fighter that he's already fought in the past, Jerry Forrest, yeah, he would have got beaten and he would have deserved it. But logic tells you a lot of these fighters, they train according to their opposition, okay? They just don't go in there. I don't think Michael Hunter would have been going in there with titties, right? Like he just got off the damn couch to fight Filip Hrgovic like he did Jerry Forrest. A lot of that had to do with, I fought this guy before. I've been in the ring with him. I'm familiar with him. Easy day. Easy cakewalk for me. So he went in there, found out Jerry Forrest was looking for some get back, and he got what he was looking for, some get back. Because that draw was somewhat of a moral victory for Jerry Forrest. Okay? So, yeah. So I think people really should look at those type of factors when you're talking about opposition and levels. Okay? Because I don't see Michael Hunter going in there in the same condition he was against Filip Hrgovic, an undefeated fighter. I don't see him doing that. But saying that, did he avoid Filip Hrgovic? I think based on, I interviewed Michael, and he told me a lot of things that I didn't know. He told me a lot of things, how he felt how it was being sabotaged, or he felt that it didn't go his way because of a higher promoter like Eddie Hearn. So that's something else you want to factor in and throw in the pot. But, after all, though, when you're dealing with those type of politics when it comes to the sport, sometimes you have to do throwbacks, old school decisions. Sometimes old school decisions, assertive decisions, like, hey, take the fight anyway. Sometimes you have to do that. Like, if it wasn't for Lennox Lewis saying, I'll take the $10 million flat against Evander Holyfield, he would have never got that fight. Okay? If it wasn't for Bernard Hopkins taking the money that Don King offered, he would have never got the Trinidad fight. He would have never got involved in the middleweight championship tournament that they had. Okay, so those are things you have to think about when making decisions. Was it a good decision for Michael Hunter to avoid Filip Hrgovic? Yes, it was. Because, yeah, he might have done things on his own terms, but it put him in no position to do anything moving forward. Okay, so no, he made a bad decision. I think, despite the politics, that is the fight that he should have fought. However, what happens now? Filip Hrgovic, Michael Hunter, and this is the bad thing. Filip Hrgovic now is in a bigger and a better position than Michael Hunter is. So we don't know. I don't want Michael Hunter to be like a Demetrius Andre, the guy just sitting around on the sidelines, threatening to fall through the cracks and fall out of the audience eye because he didn't take the right fights. Because people are going to remember that, especially an undefeated fighter that keeps rising in popularity. Okay, because Filip could get a fight with some other fighter, and then people won't even think of, or even talk about Michael Hunter. But if I'm Michael Hunter, I would want that Filip Hrgovic fight just to show everybody that I wasn't ducking that man. To show everybody that, hey, I can come in that ring conditioned, focused, ready for battle, and ready to put a whooping on Filip Hrgovic. Unfortunately, it might be a situation where he's not the A side no more. But hey, that's okay. But remember, some things that you do and you make a decision, you have to pay for later on in the future. And I think this is one of them. But whatever he needs to do, he needs to take that fight with Filip. Because Filip could always say, hey, you were ducking me and you looked like shit your last fight, and I would have destroyed you if it had been me. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Filip Hrgovic saying that Michael Hunter would have been destroyed and he ran for me because he knew this. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.